What's going on, everybody? It's time for Wednesday Sports Talk. We got a great episode for you guys, as always. Tune in. I got a lot to discuss. Cut down day has just happened here in the NFL, and we're going to go over that. Now, I know everybody's excited. I know everybody's been waiting. This is going to be a good episode. So, as always, y'all. I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday and a great middle of the week. Hope everybody's staying hydrated, of course, down here in Texas, to all my Texas listeners, as it's still pretty hot down here, as always, guys. But cut down day has happened. So for those of you that don't know what cut down day is, it is when everybody in the NFL, all 32 teams, have to cut down their rosters to 53 players. So normally everybody starts out the offseason with 90. Then around a week and a half before the season, everybody cuts down to 53, because that's the limit you're supposed to have on an active roster, 53 players. So there were some interesting cuts, which I knew in my last episode was gonna happen because it's just the way it goes. You know, there's going to be interesting cuts all around. First, I'm actually going to throw you guys a curveball here with the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, so everybody knows that I love to talk about the Dallas Cowboys because they entertain the shit out of me. Okay. One surprising cut after I just looked at their roster that really got me was Simi Fehoko. So those of you who don't know Simi Fehoko, he is a young wide receiver out of Stanford. He has a lot of upside. He didn't get a lot of playing time last year, which I get because when you have CD, you have Michael Gallup. At that time they had Noah Brown too. And those guys stayed pretty healthy, so Simi really didn't get much playing time. I thought this year, though, even with the addition of Brandon Cooks, that Simi would get at least a shot to make the roster, the active roster, that is. But I guess he didn't do well enough in the preseason. But watching him, he didn't really get a lot of targets either. So I wonder why Dallas decided that they weren't going to keep him. It just kind of puzzled me, you know, as a guy who follows the Dallas Cowboys very religiously because, again, they entertain me and I need some entertainment in my life. I just didn't get it, you know. I just really didn't get it. So to me, the fact that Simi didn't make the team, that was very, very interesting to me. Another interesting candidate is the fact that the O-line doesn't really have a lot of depth. Like, I looked at Dallas's O-line, okay? They got the starters back, you know, Zach Martin, Tyler Biadasz, the Smiths, Terrence Steele. But other than that, they don't really have any depth at O-line, and that scares me. I told you Cowboys fans this a while back, that your O-line depth scares me, and it's proven me right now. I'm telling you, if one of your guys go down on that O-line, it's not going to be pretty. I can see it right now because I don't trust those backups. I've seen them in the preseason. They don't look good at all. Their technique is bad. Their pass blocking, their run blocking. It's like they just literally started playing football for the first time in their lives. And what's sad is Dallas has a great offensive line coach, Mike Solari, who has been in the NFL as an O-line coach for fucking ever. The guy was around when fucking Bill Walsh was coaching, for Christ's sakes. I think he was also there when Tom Landry was still the coach at the Dallas Cowboys. That's how friggin' long this guy has been in the NFL. He's like the next Dante Scarnecchia, which pains me to say. But he's not as good as Scar. Don't get me wrong. There will never, ever be another offensive line coach like Dante Scarnecchia. But I will say this, Solari is up there. So this is what puzzles me, okay? With the Cowboys on their offense. Also, yeah, outside of that, I think they're going to be okay. Deuce is going to back up Tony Pollard. Cool. I don't know what the situation is with Ronald Jones. I know he's suspended for the first few games because of some issue. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do when he comes back, if they do a running back by committee, which is what Dallas needs to do anyway, because I just don't see Tony Pollard as being an every down back. I don't. He can't do it. And plus he's coming off a major injury. So I don't think it's right to have him do that this season, because it's just going to risk him. And that's the thing. Dallas can't afford to lose Tony Pollard, because it showed in the playoffs last year. When he got hurt in that 49ers game, they were done. That was it. Their offense was non-existent after that. So they need to make sure that they do that running back by committee, which I think they will. Also, I did notice this, that there's a lot of controversy going on with Dallas, especially after the Trey Lance trade. Now, I've talked about this already, but I didn't know what really was going on. So, come to find out, Jerry Jones went behind Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott's backs to get Trey Lance. Like, he did this in the middle of the night. Them two didn't know what the fuck was going on. I can see Dak. Okay, whatever. In my opinion, an owner shouldn't have to consult his quarterback about getting a player. That's just me. Then you start letting the prisoners run the asylum, i.e. Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. So, but the fact that Jerry didn't even say anything to Mike McCarthy, his head coach, who he told Mike McCarthy this year, hey, you're calling offense, I'm getting rid of Kellen Moore. So you're gonna go and do this to your offensive play caller. Granted, I'm not trying to back up Mike McCarthy. I'm not. I can't stand the motherfucker. I can't. But I think it was wrong. I think Jerry Jones should have at least said something to Mike McCarthy about getting him. And then, to top it all off, Jerry Jones goes on national TV and says, I don't give a damn what anybody says when it comes to getting players for my team. I'm going to do it whether I consult them or not. That's pretty much telling me that Jerry is sending out signals to Mike and Dak. He's saying, y'all better not fuck up, because if you do, you're gone. Like, he already did it. I said this before with Kellen Moore getting let go. And supposedly, McCarthy was the one who wanted to call plays this year. So it's like, okay, you got your wish. You better do something with it, Mike, or you're gone. Now, he's sending shots to Dak Prescott, Jerry Jones is, by saying, okay, you wanna fuck up? I got a guy waiting in the wings. And he's a top 5 pick. Unlike you were a 4th round draft pick. Granted, where you drafted doesn't matter. But Trey Lance does have upside. I really do believe Trey Lance has a lot of upside. And because of that, I think that he could maybe eventually be the starter in Dallas if he works hard. Granted, we don't have a lot of tape on Trey Lance, because you got to think, when he was in college, he played 1 season. That was it. He played 1 season in college at North Dakota State. The COVID season, he then played 1 game, and then that was it. Then he said, you know what, I'm gonna get ready for the draft. I'm not gonna chance myself. So, and then he gets to be the number 3 overall pick. The Niners like sell the farm for him, 3 first-rounders and a third-rounder to get him, and then they trade him after he only plays 4 games. Now, I'm going to say this, and this is an opinionated topic, but I think Trey Lance is up there with one of the biggest trade-up busts in the history of the NFL. I'm going to say it right now. I do not think he is that guy. I don't. Do I think he can be an average quarterback? Absolutely. I believe for sure he could be an average quarterback in this day and age, in this NFL, because of the play style he runs. But when it comes to elite, he is not elite. I don't think he will ever be elite. And honestly, when it comes to elite quarterbacks, most of them aren't normally the first rounders, for the most part. Some of them are. You know, you got your Mannings, your Mahomeses, your Joe Burrows, your Josh Allenses. Like, you have those guys. But not every quarterback that's drafted in the first round is good. They're not. Tannehill's an example. He sucks. Johnny Manziel, one of the biggest busts of all time, quarterback-wise, first rounder. Ryan Leaf, Tim Couch, Jamarcus Russell, the list goes on. You know, there's not always good quarterbacks that go in the first round. There isn't, because some of them cannot translate what they did in college to the NFL. It doesn't happen. Kyler Murray's already showing that too. I'm going to get to him in a little bit, though. Now, do I think Trey Lance can do good? Yes. If he puts in the work, I think he can do good. Now, I do got to talk about the Patriots, though. You know, so they cut down Davis yesterday, too. Now, I was following that. Most of their cuts I wasn't really surprised with. I wasn't. There was 2, though, that really got me. Bailey Zappi and Malik Cunningham. Okay, so before that, they cut Trace McSorley. All right, because they had 4 quarterbacks going into this preseason. Everybody knew Mac was going to win the number 1 job. Everybody knew that. There wasn't any doubt there. Who was going to be the backup, though? Was it going to be Zappi? Was it going to be Trace? Was it going to be Malik? Zappi didn't really play well in the preseason. Malik did in the limited time he got. Trace is Trace, you know, he's nothing more than just like a guy who just comes in here and there. So, yesterday, Bill cuts everybody but Mac. He cuts Malik, he cuts Zappi. I'm thinking, what are you doing? Like, are you not, like, what are you doing? Who's going to be the backup? The rumors started flying in, oh, it's going to be Colt McCoy, or because Colt McCoy got cut by the Cardinals. Then there was a possibility that it could be Carson Wentz. But I knew Bill was trying to play craps, because he pretty much said, okay, I'm going to roll the dice and take a chance here. I'm going to see if Malik and Bailey make it through waivers, and then I'm going to sign them back to the practice squad. So he rolls the dice. Today rolls around. Now, just a little bit ago, I got the news that both of them cleared waivers and they got signed back to the practice squad. So Bill got lucky, because supposedly those 2 guys had 15 offers apiece to go to another team on their practice squads. And they both decided, nope, we're going back to New England. So here's how this is going to go down now. I want to see what Bill is going to do. Is he going to just be like, okay, I'm going to just see who does better each week, and then I'm going to bring them up from the practice squad? Because you gotta have somebody, because Mac got hurt last year. So Mac's not invisible. Mac didn't play every game last year. So you have to make sure you have a backup each game, because you don't know what's going to happen. Injuries come all the time. So, in my opinion, I think Bill is making a huge mistake. And you guys know me. You guys know I'm a big Bill fan. Always have been, always will be. But what he's doing, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't know what he's thinking. Because to me, I don't think that's right. I think you need to have a guy that knows going in, like, hey, you're my backup. This is your spot on the depth chart. Because when you don't do that, you got guys in limbo. And they're like, okay, well, what am I? What's my role here? You know, you have to have roles for your guys, for your players, or they're not going to know what to do. Like, as a coach, that's what you have to do. And I'm not trying to tell Bill how to do his job because the guy's won 6 Super Bowls as a head coach. I'm not saying that. He knows what he's doing. But I think he's trying something new. And it seems like Bill, for the last couple of years, he's been trying to throw this freaking spaghetti at the wall and see if this new thing that he tries is going to work. He tried it with Matt Patricia and Joe Judge calling offense last year. He thought, oh, hell, if we pull this off, I'm going to be a fucking genius. I can make a defensive coaches call offense. That fucking blew up in his face. All right? Now he's going to probably do this. Oh, I'm going to just call up a guy every week from the practice squad and see if that works out. Why? Why? Don't do that. Come on, Bill. Don't do that shit. I still love him. He's still my guy. I do like him. But some of the stuff he does makes my friggin' brain hurt, guys. Oh. You know, I'm very happy, though, that he did keep those two, especially Malik, because Malik can also play wide receiver. So he can be used as a situational guy on the practice squad and as an emergency wide receiver / quarterback, which you got versatility. He's like a Taysom Hill. He really is. He's a Swiss Army knife. So I'm glad we kept him. I'm very, very glad we kept him. It's going to be interesting to see how New England's offense runs this year. That O-line, their O-line really worries me too, though. Like, their O-line really worries me. Yes, they've had a lot of injuries on the O-line this offseason. You know, Onwenu's been out. Calvin Anderson's been out. Cole Stranger's been out. You know, those are 3 of their starters right there that have been out a lot this summer. They're now back at practice. So they're finally back. So they're going to be ready for week 1. But they got to stay healthy. What surprises me is out of all the offensive linemen that have stayed healthy is Trent Brown. Because that guy can't stay healthy to save his life, it seems. So the fact that he's been able to stay healthy is amazing. It's absolutely friggin' amazing. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. You know, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how these teams do after their cut downs and everything like that. But I do want to talk about Kyler Murray. I want to move on. I want to talk about him for a little bit. Do I think he's a bust? Absolutely. I do. I think he's a major bust. I think he's not the guy that people think he is. Coming out of OU, he's too small. I knew he was going to get hurt. It was just a matter of when. Now, the way it's going, the Cardinals are tanking. They put him on the PUP list, so he's going to be out for at least the first month of the season. I think he's going to be out longer. You want my honest opinion? I don't think he's going to be ready in a month. I don't. He hasn't even started practicing yet. I don't think he's going to be ready in a month. I don't. December? Absolutely. Absolutely. More than likely, I can definitely see December. He's going to definitely be ready by then. Now, the question remains, though, when he comes back, how is he going to perform? Because here's the thing, a lot of players, when they have ACL injuries, they're normally not right for at least 2 years. The first year after it takes them about a year to recover. When they recover, they're normally not themselves for a little bit, and then the following year is when they're ready. They're back to 100%. It's the same thing with like baseball players and Tommy Johns. But I don't think Kyler is going to be ready in a month. I just don't. And if he does come back, I just don't think he's going to be the same. He's going to be a shell of his former self. And honestly, the Cardinals, everybody knows the Cardinals are tanking. So in my honest opinion, why not just keep him out the whole year? Just put him on IR. You pretty much, everyone knows you're tanking. You might as well just come out and say it. Like, hell, they cut Colt McCoy, which made no sense to me. They traded for Josh Dobbs. So, to me, it seems like Josh Dobbs is probably going to be their starter. So, I already know for a fact Jonathan Gannon is just doing this because he knows damn well Caleb Williams is waiting in the wings. They got 2 first-round picks next year, and they're probably going to be top 5. So, they're going to try and get Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. Everybody knows that is what the game plan is for the Arizona Cardinals. They really do not know how to keep their mouths shut and their actions shut. They really are not too smart with it. They're not. I'm sorry. They're just like the LA Angels in baseball. They're pretty much telling people flat out, we're tanking, we've already given up. So, it just makes me mad that they're doing that. I do want to talk another opinionated topic, though. So, this topic came up to me yesterday, and I wanted y'all's opinion on this. And I know on my episode this coming weekend, I'm going to go in depth with this too. But is Jerry Jones the reason that Dallas has not won a Super Bowl in the past 28 years almost? So, I was listening to my guy Stephen A. and Marcus Spears yesterday. Marcus Spears says it's all Jerry Jones. I have to disagree with him. I really do. Because Jerry Jones has constructed a lot of good rosters over the years. Really, he has. I mean, Romo was decent. There was a lot of time, they had Romo and Des Bryant, for Christ's sakes. Like, Zeke, DeMarco Murray, like, good offensive line, good receivers. Jason Witten, who was Mr. Reliable at tight end. Their defense was badass, but they could not get over the hump. And my thing is this. That goes down to coaching. Like, to me, Jerry wasted a lot of years with Jason Garrett. He really did. He gave Jason Garrett way too many chances. Especially, I'm sorry, but if I was Jerry Jones, after the second or third year, or after the second year in a row that my team went 8-8, I'd have fired his ass. I really would have. I would have fired his ass. And the fact that there have been times that they had good teams, that they had high seeds in the playoffs, and they freaking just couldn't get past that hump, it's coaching. That's what Stephen A. was saying yesterday. It has to do with coaching at the end of the day. So in my honest opinion, Jerry Jones can construct this badass roster, which he seems to be good at doing, but at the end of the day, he can't get a competent coach. The guy had Bill Parcells, for Christ's sakes, who in my opinion is a great coach. But he can win with him. He had Wade Phillips. Granted, I'm not a Wade Phillips fan. I don't think Wade Phillips is a good coach. I just don't. Couldn't win with him. 08 Nate Garrett. Couldn't win with him. Now you got Mike McCarthy. So far, Mike McCarthy hasn't done shit. This is his 4th season now. You've had 2 12-5 records. You made the playoffs. You won a playoff game last season. The year before, you got bounced in the first round. The COVID season, which was his first season, they didn't even make the playoffs. To me, this year, I think Jerry Jones is telling everybody, well, not even just everybody, he's really telling, like, Dak and Mike McCarthy, going back to what I said earlier, that y'all better y'all better at least get to the NFC Championship game this year, or y'all are done. Like, seriously, if Dallas does not make an NFC title game this year, they're done. Those two are gone. At least Mike McCarthy. I don't know about Dak because of his contract. I don't think anybody's going to want to trade for that. But it would be interesting to see if that was the case. So, that is what my opinion is, though, guys, on Jerry Jones. Again, we'll see what happens there. I am going to have to end it here, though, today, guys. I am going to have another special episode for you guys this weekend. I'm going to have a special guest on, like I said. So you'll want to tune in for that for sure. It's going to be an awesome episode. It's going to be epic. I can't wait. Beautiful day down here in Texas, guys. It's nice night. It's a little hot, but you know what? It's bearable. The relief has come down here. It's actually very nice. I'm going to be honest with you. But you guys have a great rest of your week and a great, great holiday weekend this weekend too, guys. Have fun. I will talk to you guys all this weekend. Take it easy.